All right, guys, I just got a call from the McLaren dealership. We've got the parts that we ordered for the 720 GTR. They just showed up. Now we got to get over there quickly, get those parts, get back over here, install them on the car because we do not have a lot of time before Monterey Car Week. And this car still has to be completely finished, put all back together, shipped to Canada, get inspected, get shipped back, and then Damon can go to Monterey Car Week. The parts that we're picking up from McLaren are the suspension accumulators. They're the updated version. There's a recall on the car. The accumulators can fail without any heads up, right? They just go bad. All of a sudden, your suspension that was nice and firm, handling the road properly, goes away. The car starts to roll over more. It changes the dynamics of the car completely, and you can crash pretty easily. If you're in the middle of a corner or something and the car is fairly loaded and that fails, it's going to change. It's probably going to snap oversteer, snap understeer. We absolutely need these parts. We also found a local shop that's able to do the suspension refill, bleeding, all that hydraulic system stuff. They reached out to us, so that's a huge help. We still have the issue with the seats. Dave is working on that as we speak. He's been working on that, trying to figure out a solution. I ordered a taillight that hasn't arrived yet. I'm hoping it comes tomorrow or today. So many things going on to try to get this car done in time for Car Week. We are in a huge rush, but you know, I guess that's how it goes, and hopefully we can meet our deadline. Just not far away at all. Look at what is in this parking lot. So we've got a Huracan here, the convertible that looks like it's raised, and then we have the off-road version of it that is actually raised and has some Jeep fenders on it. It's pretty interesting. I love rally cars. I don't know if I really feel like that shouts out rally car. It almost looks SUV-ish.
Yeah, Huracan crossover sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take a look at the coolest contact picture that I've got on my phone now.
It grew back fast though.
I couldn't wait. Are you guys picking up parts?
Yeah, I'm sure everything's in here. Nothing.
No trust. Wow.
No, just kidding. So it's new hardware as well, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hardware, accumulators, passenger side air intake.
Sweet. All right, now we'll get back. We'll go put these parts on the car. Keep rushing to try to get this thing done.
Let me know what I can do to help.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Thank you guys as always.
Thank you. All right, take care. You ready, Tim? Yep. You got that? You got it.
Secure.
Life. So we've got all the suspension accumulators. We've got the intake tube to replace that one that is damaged. It's like a hairnet.
Got to be sanitary while you're working.
That's right. You know, got to keep it all intact. Make sure you don't get any hair in your customer's intake. Last time we started the car, we did get some white smoke. We'll just see if this thing smokes when we start it up. Oof.
What?
Battery says 5 days.
Oh, jeez.
Battery low. Battery charge required.
So it might not start?
I don't think it's gonna start. Let's see.
No smoke either. No smoke. All right.
The battery was almost dead. It was 5 days left when we started it. When I just turned it off, it said 4 days. So it's obviously draining pretty fast. There's not much charge left. So trickle charger back on it so we can build that battery back up. You know, fingers crossed that Dave can find those seats and figure out a solution for that. So if the suspension accumulators are done, Dave finds the seats, the airbag lights go off, and we can find some stock body parts to put on this thing for now because, well, honestly, I don't know how long it's gonna take to get that custom body kit that Damon has on order. We don't have a lot of time left, and that deadline is approaching very fast. We're gonna get those suspension accumulators installed now, something that I've never done before. Trying to jack this car up is quite a bit more complex than a standard car. Usually there's a pinch weld with like the rocker panels and the floor pan and everything coming together, and there's a spot that comes down with like 4 layers thick steel, and that's usually the jack point. It goes from the front to the back. Can't really mess it up. This car with a carbon monocoque center, it's all carbon and it's all flat, so you really have to get it in the right spot in the corner where it's really strong. Otherwise you could literally pop a hole right through the bottom of that carbon fiber chassis and completely destroy the car with one wrong jack move. How confident are you on the positioning?
Not confident yet.
$500,000 confident?
A fancy maneuver that you're doing there, Tim.
It's working, Mark.
Is it?
I believe so.
Low and slow.
Cool.
Other side.
Yep, go ahead and come down. Cool. Oh man, that's tight. We have to pull the wheel liner out, Tim.
Alrighty.
There's no way we can get a wrench in this little groove. It's like there's a thing coming down from the top, angling over the top of it, and maybe from the backside I can sneak a wrench in there to get to the top because that's where the nut is to crack them loose.
Yeah, there's gonna be no leverage.
Yeah, so if we get this out of the way, then maybe over here it feels like it's open enough to possibly get a wrench on there, like a box end with that angle might just work out. I hope we don't have to make a custom tool for this. All right, so here's our new parts. I'm gonna open these up and check them out. So those look completely different than the original ones. And there is no nut on top to loosen them or tighten them. So there's basically these 4 holes. So it looks like there's a special wrench, basically a flat bar with pins that come down. So we might actually have to make something to get these tight if we can't use a regular pair of snap ring pliers, which might work, but I don't know if we'll be able to put enough force on it. Does look like this is an O-ring seal, which means that it does not need to get tightened down an insane amount. Might actually have to call McLaren back and get the torque spec from them on this and see if it is light or if it's something that's 40 or 50 or 60 foot-pounds. We might actually have to make a special tool, which is just another delay. More stuff to do to get this thing back on the road. Okay, not too bad. It looks like now we've got this out. So it's got that nut on the top.
Yep.
So we'll be able to crack that loose and hopefully this won't make contact before we're out of the threads here. But first, get some brake cleaner. Let's clean it off. Wipe it with a rag to make sure we don't get any dirt into the hydraulic system.
Yeah.
When we do pull that off. So another thing I wanted to check is see if these are actually taller. And yeah, they are slightly taller, but I don't know if they're actually taller than the part with the nut. The body is. They're a bit bigger, but it will fit underneath that spot on the intake manifold. But that'll just make it more difficult on the front trying to get it in there because of that sheet metal piece that's above it. Hopefully we won't have to disassemble the whole front of the car just to get these on there.
All right, Mike, the fronts are done. Time to go on to the back, right?
Well, I mean, the fronts are on there, but they're not tightened down. So if we drove it like this, even if it got recharged and everything, it would rattle itself loose, start to spin, and then it would shoot the hydraulic fluid out, which would probably get on the brakes, on the wheels. Let's not go there, it'd be bad. Bad situation. No brakes, like hydraulic fluid covering the rotors, it would not stop. It'd be terrible. All right, so I was actually able to tighten it down with some snap ring pliers. Those holes in top, I got this in there, got enough angle on it to be able to tighten down. It's only about 20 foot-pounds of torque. After doing this for 25 years, I have pretty good feel and I can get pretty close to spot on as far as torque values. I think these are good to go. Is that Nico driving the Street Evo?
I think so. Looks like you made it back in one piece somehow.
Is Nico qualified to drive that vehicle?
What do you think I'm doing? You think I'm then staying behind and do nothing? Right?
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah, just hang out, go slow, whatever. This guy, mate, absolutely loves driving that. That is a joke.
James can afford to replace that car. That's why James is driving it.
What?
James can afford to replace it.
I can replace you. How about that? No, I can't. You're irreplaceable, to be fair.
We got the accumulators. We got the fronts on. Those are done. Do you have any update on the seats?
Oh, yeah, it's a total mess. Ray sold someone in China. He's trying to find them. He can't get a hold of the guy.
Yeah.
So we need to find another way. We need to know what's happening today at this car, if it's going to go in Monterey or not. Even without a body on it, but it has to be registered.
There was a shop that contacted us. They're local. There's an ex-McLaren factory tech, and he has the tool to recharge the suspension system. They can charge the suspension system for us tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And it shouldn't take long. They'll do it while we wait. We can get that done, but then, yeah, we need to figure out the rest of our issues. At least the suspension will be dialed in and ready to go. But if we can't get the car to Canada to get inspected, then That's a major issue. All right, so we got the back of the car up off the ground. The wheels are just hovering over the ground, which is totally fine. I got the weight off of the suspension. I was able to change that bolt out fairly easily. Now I'm gonna work on the accumulator and swap this out, put the other one on here, then Tim can come back in and put our new intake tube in. So let's see if it's any different in the rear as far as pressure goes. The left front didn't have a whole lot of fluid that came out. The right front had a ton. You never know with this thing, I guess. Well, that was easy. All right, so this is the same plug that we were talking about on the front. Basically, this is pointing up, and this is much flatter now. This was domed, so it had clearance for that. And we were able to rotate that just enough out of the way in the front and not have it hit the chassis. Obviously, it's different in the rear, and there's tons of room. Now we're ready to put this one back on, and we should be good to go. I think all of the fluid must have gone out of the front of the system, so this was no issue at all.
Put it in his bum. He's like, oh no, I don't like that.
Oh, that's familiar. Mine is bigger, no. No, the one that I have at home.
McLaren is on its way to being fixed, hopefully, but to do that, we need lots of money. For the F12, we need lots of money. We are a marketing company, and our friends at Rockform said, hey, I have an idea. What if we gave you guys a bit of money and you promote our product in a different way? I said, what do you mean, Jeff? What are you trying to say, Jeff? I need your money. Yeah, I know, I do need your money, Jeff. So he said, hey, if you guys hang a banner in your garage, we'll give you guys a taste of money each month. So Rockform is going to be putting their name on our wall. This will be in the background of all the videos. They're not sponsoring today's video, but if you need a phone case for your phone, they make the best phone cases. No joke, 4 years now, throwing phones around. That's a weak throw here. Let me help you. Let's go to rockform.com, use coupon code DDE2023 and get 25% off everything in the store. Accessories and phone cases. Thank you, Rockform, we really appreciate it. Because basically this McLaren is now being covered with this, and that's the new rear end of the McLaren.
All right, we got all 4 of the suspension accumulators swapped out all the way around the car. We gotta wait till tomorrow, and we're gonna take the car over to a local shop that's an independent shop who actually has the factory McLaren tools to recharge the suspension system. Obviously, we still have other issues. We don't have bodywork. We don't have the seats to get those airbag lights to turn off. These are huge issues, and our deadline is approaching very, very soon. The next day now, we've got to get the 720 GTR loaded up on the trailer, and we'll take it to a shop that's going to do the suspension system recharge for us. That makes me happy. This battery is all the way charged up again. So yesterday it showed 4 days left when we started it, and I was getting a little worried that it wouldn't start, but it looks like we're all charged up. So this is the only local shop that we've found that can actually service the suspension system and recharge it for us. Now, of course, we could go back to McLaren, but they said it's a minimum of a week before they can even get our car in, and this shop is willing to do it right away. So we got to go over there as quickly as possible so we don't miss our appointment. We're running a little bit behind. We've got to load this thing up as quick as we can. I don't hear any cracking. Sounds okay to me.
You know what? Despite the obvious, I'm not a Dodge guy. I'll take the Lamborghini to go on a run. And I got some pretty good news. I think, well, good news. Maybe good news. I think I have a plan to get that car driving to Car Week. The real issue is the airbag light. Ray's been trying, but Ray's like, we're not getting the seats back. If he can't get them back, the guys don't want dumb money for them for some reason. That shit will take too long. Ray thinks he can decode out the light. There is a way. The McLaren won't do it, but it's not impossible. It's 11:30 right now. I have arranged for a third-party transporter who will take that car to Vancouver. Ray will stay late if he has to, which he has to, get it all done, drive it to Alberta, which is like 12 hours east, get it inspected, and head straight down to Monterey. The cost of transport was $12,000. 12 grand, which in reality isn't super unreasonable. There's only one person willing to do it because everybody right now is busy with Car Week. So we have to get this done by 3 o'clock basically, which we're fine. It's not gonna take 3 hours to charge the accumulator.
car is here, and hopefully they can get this thing done quick and we can make our 3 p.m. deadline. So grateful for these guys taking us in last minute and getting this done for us, because this is the only way we're gonna make this happen.
Nice to meet you.
Michael, nice to meet you.
So what's going on?
So we got the accumulators all swapped out. We put the updated versions on, so everything is good and legal and we can pass the inspection.
Okay.
But we don't have the tools to do the bleeding and repressurizing.
Yeah, we take care of that. We actually built our own bleeder here, so we used to work for McLaren, so we kind of reverse engineered it and built it.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah, we could definitely do that.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
These, to depressurize the suspension, you actually have to talk to the control module itself and depressurize it, or else you have a lot of pressure.
I found that
coming
out when we were pulling the accumulators off. There was a lot of pressure in there when we popped them off.
That'll happen. That'll happen. It's important to understand some of the theory behind the car before tearing into them sometimes.
Yeah.
Michael Essa, I've got some amazing news.
I love amazing news.
You're getting a raise.
Thank you.
I got some shoes and platforms in them.
So the guys at Exotic Specialty Services got the McLaren bleeding tool hooked up to the suspension system. They actually went in with a computer and depressurized the system before they could hook up to it. And it looks like it's moving along quickly. A lot of bubbles are coming out of there, so we should be wrapped up here fairly soon. And that means that we may be able to get back to the shop ASAP so we can meet our deadline for 3 p.m.
Did you laugh at my jokes I was telling that day?
I actually think I made fun of your belly.
I was just making a joke with my belly right now with the boys. We ordered hamburgers and I was making fun of my belly. That's LOA. You have a module for a seat that might work in our car to get rid of our airbag light. How much do you want for it? Come on, man. I got kids. They eat caviar, but they're hungry. I have to get this car and transport to Canada in 2 hours. This has to get done before it goes. Is that possible?
Right now the module's in orange, so it's not too far.
That's not too far. Throw me a number, Brian. Or can I trade something for it? What do you want for your 720? I'll start the bidding at $500. $500, we'll give you a mention in the video. I'll be your friend for 7 days in a row. I'll reply to your text messages. I'll give you attention. I'll like your Instagram photos from my personal account for 7 days.
I have to want breakfast in bed twice a week.
Okay.
Month.
Okay. Are you cool if Mark does it?
And a foot massage once a year.
That's Mark. That's Mark. Okay.
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
So-
you gave him a hand job or what?
You need the module. You can't code it without that. So if had it gone to Ray today, he couldn't have done it. Is $500 a good deal for the module?
Dude, here's the thing. Where you gonna get? It's a great deal, but you can't get it anywhere, right?
were
I mean,
about-
I'm a businessman, okay?
You were about to buy the seats back from the dude in China and ship them
shipping's
back.
$500.
No,
like,
shipping is like thousands. Like trying
Now it doesn't have to go to Vancouver. I'm going to go straight to Alberta through Montana. And then hopefully now I can get back in time for Damon to drive to Monterey.
Yeah.
So we have like 2.5 days. Oh, things are happening off camera. It happened so quickly I didn't even film it. Here's the issue. Airbag light. It was going to go to SR. Ray said he thinks he can code it out. Well, Ray, again, you were wrong. The boys here that have experience with McLaren, probably the most experience with any McLaren aftermarket dealer on the planet, is here right now. They said, you cannot code it out. It needs the module. It needs it, or it's impossible. And I was like, well, that's a problem because Ray doesn't have one, so now we're screwed. This is all over. I'm going to burn this car to the ground. They said, we have a customer who has an extra set of seats, and maybe he'll sell the module by itself. So that was the phone call. And he was a shrewd negotiator. I owe him a foot rub and a shout out and $500 now. I have right now Uber package picking up the module. It'll be here in about 26 minutes. It's 1:12. This car needs to get picked up by 3 o'clock to go to Alberta now. Now it doesn't have to go to BC. That saves us time. That means the car can go to Alberta, come back here, and drive with Gumball on our private drive to Car Week with Damon smiling again. That beautiful smile. Show him Damon's smile. Show him. Just like that. That'll be Damon in this car. And we had a lot of setbacks recently. I think this could be the time of like, and forget the back end. It looks cool like that. You drive like that, wouldn't you?
I would definitely drive it like that.
That's way more race car.
Yeah.
The best part now is we get to call Damon and tell him the good news.
Yes.
Yo, 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 yo.
You guys all saying yo at the
Yo.
I have good news. We ordered burgers for lunch. So, actually, we have good news. So, you know the plan. We talked this morning. Car has to go to Ray. Ray can code out, goes to Alberta, get back in time. It'll have to work out. Blah, 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 blah. Well, what if I told you Raymond's a liar? You cannot code out this light. You cannot code out light without the module. So Ray thought he could do it. You can't. The guys here used to work for McLaren, and they said like you can't. You need the module, and no one's gonna sell you a module from a dealership. Blah 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 blah. They have a customer with a spare set of seats that just sold me a module for $500 in an Uber right now to come here.
It's 20 minutes away.
So that means that this car will be completely done mechanically for the inspection. Now it doesn't have to go to Vancouver, go straight to Alberta, which means rather than you meeting us in Monterey, the car will be back here and you can drive with us all the way up to Monterey.
Oh, sick.
You just won't have a body on the car, but who cares, dude, because race car. Apparently it doesn't matter for the inspection. They said it doesn't matter, it's just mechanical, so that's not an issue for that. It's just, you might want some mud flaps for the drive, but we'll figure that out later. So the only risk right now is we have 2 hours till transport is gonna pick up the car and leave.
Dude, I'm so pumped.
Yes.
The module is on the way. We'll arrive here at, oh, that's a long time. What time is it? It's 1:50, what's 13?
What's 13?
13 is 1. We're here at 2 o'clock. We have like an hour. How long will it take to do this?
If it all goes well, a couple minutes.
Oh, be a couple minutes. High five. Let's go.
Too high,
Go, go.
too high.
Jump the jump.
All right, you ready?
Yes. We're waiting for a black Ford Escape. Their seat module should be here like literally in 1 minute. I'm really hoping this works because we took a bit of a risk on time. Now they're saying you need the module anyway, so I guess the rate thing wouldn't worked out. I don't know. I have Damon's hopes up now. I almost wish we didn't call him, to be honest. I hope the guy finds the spot. He's right here. And we're right here. Oh, he's getting closer. For us to go to Orange, pick up that part would take us like 2 hours round trip. So work smarter, not harder. Or don't work at all. Whoa! An hour and 14 minutes to spare. Hello, sir. Hi. Thank you very much. Okay, you're welcome. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sounds kind of broken, doesn't it? We have transport in literally an hour and 10 minutes, so 20-minute drive to the shop. Let's see that 45 minutes. Hey!
Special delivery. Looks about right.
First step is that to plug in and make sure it's actually the same. I didn't know this, but it's actually from a 570, not a 720. It might not be the same module, so he's gonna see if it plugs in, plug in this fancy little computer. And if you're watching at home right now, everybody cross your fingers, please, because this is the make or break moment for us. So it clipped in, which is good news. And right now he's on the McLaren computer thing, and he has to do a bunch of, what do you have to do? You have to hack the internet and fix the matrix so Nia can get back to the real world or something?
Not quite, but first I'm going to see if I can just plug it in and it'll work. And if not, we're going to have to go through a few more steps there to get that light turned off for you.
Transporter's messaging me. Dave will be there at 3, but we got a little right away. And I said, we're just leaving here in 15 minutes. I said, we're just leaving now. So we have 18 minutes. We're 8 minutes from the shop. Oh. Jesus, spitting.
Spin out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all good. We don't want.
Sometimes when you bring a car in for rush service, things go wrong. It looks like there's an error with the computer communicating with the car. It's failing to communicate, so he was basically repressurizing the suspension system, and it failed in the middle, so he has to restart the whole process over again, so the computer in the car thinks that everything is okay. It's this process and a lot of steps. You know, we're putting them in a difficult position by trying to rush this and trying to have them do it as quickly as possible. When you work on cars, sometimes things just don't go your way. Dave went over there, back to the shop to try to stall the transporter for a little bit, get him to hang out and wait for us to get over there. I know the transporter wants to get on the road ASAP because it's a long drive and they've got a really tight schedule.
Just got done pressurized the suspension system, just clearing out the last of the codes, and
Yep.
you guys will be ready to go.
Nice. Did you get that airbag light turned off?
Airbag light is off.
No way.
Whoa.
Off.
That's awesome. Dude, that saves so much headache. Dude, you guys, amazing job, especially like you finding the guy that had that module and it's local, getting it here that quick, that's insane.
That's what we do every day.
All right, Tim, can you get the ramps ready? Oh, huge thanks to these guys for getting this thing done as quickly as possible. Now, we're gonna load this thing up, get back to the shop. Yo, you're on speaker. We just loaded the car up. We just left the shop and we're heading back right now.
All right, he's not here yet, so I'm not sure where he is, but he's not answering my text either, so I guess we have time.
He's not there yet?
Nope.
I did not see a transporter yet. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think he's not here yet, and we're actually back in time, even though we're late.
Well, we've achieved the impossible. This car's back together in basically 2 weeks. Transporter is not arrived. He's also not answering my texts or my calls, so I assume he's in traffic. But it's currently 4:30. He told me 3 p.m. sharp. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous.
That's quite a bit. after when he should have been here.
Damon sent me a teaser to show you guys. That's the rear diffuser.
Oh.
Look at the weave.
Dude, that's sick. It looks like a factory race car part.
One panel. That's all you get. So the 720, ironically, is coming back better than ever.
Yeah, I'm looking for transport.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, it's Dave from Daily Driven Exotics. You're supposed to be here at 3 o'clock. We've rushed all day. It's now 6. Where are you?
Oh yeah, Dave. I'm sorry, man. It's not gonna be able to do that today.
What?
Yeah, my boss said it's too far.
Too far for what? To the shop?
Yeah, he just said he wouldn't do it. I'm not gonna be able to make it today, but.
So are you saying you're not doing this job at all, or just not today?
It's got to be today, or it doesn't make sense.
Today for sure, but I can ask him tomorrow, and I can get back to you.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I talked to you earlier, not your boss. We negotiated $12,000 that you would go from here to Vancouver to Alberta, straight back. You would do it within the time frame, which is like 2 days.
Yeah, but that's not my business. You know, that's my boss's decision. I'm just doing my.
What's your boss's phone number?
I can't really give you his number, but if you want, you can call back. He'll be here probably tomorrow by 10.
No, that doesn't help me. This car has to leave right now. Someone's calling you.
Yes, but this is.
Hold on. No, you and I negotiated directly. Negotiated directly $12,000, which is an insane amount of money that we paid to get this car to Car Week. Tomorrow doesn't help me. This car has to leave today at 3 o'clock. In fact, you text me, what time? 2:20? Saying you'd be here at 3, and I had to be here right at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
I'm busy, man. I'm working. This is like, you're taking it the wrong way.
All right. Thanks anyway. Bye.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say right now. All right, well, we have to call Damon. Hey.
Yo.
The good news is the airbag light is fixed.
No way.
Yeah, so we took a 570 seat module, and then they had their special fancy computer. The accumulators are charged. They reset the maintenance light, so it doesn't need an oil change in 9 days now, so it's all positive stuff. It's all done. All it needs now is the body you ordered. Bad news is that the transporter bailed. He said his boss changed his mind. He can't do it now. It's too far. Carlos has our truck trailer in Canada. He can't make it. Plycar swamped. It's Car Week this week in a few days, so.
Yeah, Nick was already saying when we tried him like 2 weeks ago, he didn't have room.
So you can't take the 720, but it's fixed.
It's just a third-party brokered transport guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like that one year we got a crappy third-party transport person and they screwed our car up, which is why we've always said, go apply car, go with professional brokers who have proper insurance and professional people. So now what? I guess, well, at the end of the day, I just take the KB43 car. So at least we take that car and then we can rip up to Car Week. When we get back, we'll tackle the last few things.
So about that.
I committed the KB43 car to James, Mr. JWW in Yorkie weeks ago.
For Car Week?
There's no cars in the HQ right now. We've sold a bunch of cars.
I have a divide and conquer opportunity, I guess, for us. We could always do what we've always talked about, which is instead of us always being in the same place at the same time, all making the same video, what if I didn't go? It would really suck. I know we have a huge gumball party, and it would be a bummer for Max and Lee and James. I'd miss all those guys and Nico, but sometimes you just got to man up. I mean, I've done Car Week, dude, 10 years in a row. Why don't you go? Why don't you go with the crew? I'll hang back, and I'll really work and bang out the things we want to get done for the Mercy Build series, because, dude, I'm really excited about that right now. I'm glad I got that car. I know a lot of people are doubting my vision for that car, but I promise you, I will not disappoint. Like, Mike knows, right?
Yep.
The Mercy's going to be crazy.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, and it's going to be street legal, just so everybody knows. It'll be street legal. It's not going to be some full-blown race car.
Yep.
But let's say it's going to have a lot of race car in it, and it's going to be on the street. That's all I want to say, but thank you for all the hard work. All this progress, everything's done on the car. Now we're just waiting for the body. By the way, this body kit is like nothing. Nothing.
How much was the body kit?
I'll tell you this, it's like nothing any other 720 on planet Earth looks like. Nothing. Nothing.
Is it priceless?
I was asking some hard questions and starting to cut it.
I took that really well.
He's in a good place. He's got other projects going on, so he can actually like focus that energy on something else. And
Damon's not coming back.